In case you missed it, here's Dave and Cheryl's favorite moments of the week.
So I had a unique experience at the end of last week. Stayed a couple of days in a yurt.
A yurt?
Yes.
Yes, like those kind of like tent, teepee type things?
Yeah, they're kind of dome-ish, almost futuristic looking.
Oh, okay, like a
ways.
geodesic dome kind of thing?
Sure, I'll go with what you just said. And then, the one we stayed in was very nice, had power.
And where was it?
Down Windsor, Essex Way, Colchester.
On Thursday. When that giant thunderstorm went through the area in that neck of the woods.
It was wild. I have never been in a thunderstorm that lasted 7 hours. It was just thunderstorm after thunderstorm after thunderstorm, torrential rain coming down that just didn't let up. So every once in a while, and it was nonstop lightning. It was like a light show, but then the thunder would quiet down for a bit, and boom, it would go again.
And so this was the first night, which was Wednesday night.
Wednesday night.
So that storm wasn't so bad here in Chatham. I know Tilbury Way got drenched with rain during that
and they
storm.
did where we were too. There were roads washed out in the area. No power. We didn't get power back till 4 o'clock the next day because we booked for 2 days for our daughter's birthday. Right? She'd house watch for us and dog sat a couple times when we've gone away. So we thought, okay, we'll do something special for her and take her and her boyfriend and, stay in this big thing where there's, 2 queen size beds and
Very
there's
nice.
couches and chairs and,
It's glamping.
Yeah. Which is where I'm at this point in my life. I'm not, because at first she was like, I'd like to go camping. Well, I'd like to not sleep on the ground. I'm just not there anymore. We camped all over the province when I was a kid, and I think it just got it out of my system, right? So then the second night, and by the way, too, the torrential rain flooded the entire property. There was like ankle deep water.
Well, you guys
everywhere.
were right on the lake, right?
Right on the lake. It did drain rather quickly. I will say that. They're groundskeeping and whatnot, and the way they've got it graded. It did. However, we didn't get power back till 4. Power come back on. So they've, got barbecues out there. So we were able to at least cook some of the food we brought.
So you settle in for what you hope is a nice quiet night on Thursday evening.
And then tornado warnings because we knew there was another storm coming and we just didn't know how bad it would be. But then when the caretaker guy was leaving, he was like, well, I'm going into town. Somebody watch my cats, make sure my door is shut because he lives on the property a lot of the time. I was
okay.
Is that a bad sign? The caretaker guy's like, peace out. I'm not going through another storm like the night before. And my daughter's never done well with storms ever since she was little. She used to wake up when she was little and start crying and be like, the thunder is going to get me. And I'd be like, well, technically it'd be the lightning that would get you. But
like that's not going to comfort her.
Or I used to say, it's just, God and the angels are bowling. Tell them to stop bowling. It's too loud. So she's always had anxiety. So she kept looking at me to see if I was reacting because there were a couple times it was a different storm, obviously, than the night before. But there was a couple times the wind and the way the rain was hitting the yurt, it would shake it a little bit. And I was like, is it coming? And then the way it got really quiet at one point. And then the wind really picked up again. And I thought, is this it? And I'm trying not to react so that she doesn't react. I would say Chatham probably, and Dresden or Chatham Kent, got it tougher than where we were in Colchester.
Well, they did confirm that there was one in Harrow now, and they're looking at other damage in the Windsor area still.
And that's right near where we were.
So,
yeah.
I mean, you really picked the 2 best nights to go stay in a yurt, Dave. But a 7-hour thunderstorm followed by a tornado warning.
Happy 2 days off, right? Well, if you love that free bread that sometimes they give you at restaurants, you may not want to hear this. Someone online went viral after talking about the free bread and chips actually being a tactic restaurants use to make you spend more.
When you dig into the bread, it's going to cause a blood glucose spike. They know that a glucose spike is going to make you hungrier, crave more, and have a hard time resisting foods. So while it feels like they're being generous, they are actually winning. You order more food, they bring you some more bread, and then offer you a dessert that's nearly impossible to resist.
So they're getting you in the end with that free bread or those free chips.
Now, here's the thing, though. It's not the only reason that they give you free bread. We also are humans, and we just like free stuff. So you don't get angry if it takes a while for your food to get there. So subconsciously it also makes you tip a little more, too. But the fact is that it kind of whets your appetite is a big reason why a lot of restaurants do bring you free bread.
I mean, I'm sure it's not really free. I'm sure they factor it into the cost of everything else too, right?
I would say everything on the menu is probably a little bit more to make up for the free bread, or a lot of times I'm thinking of like Olive Garden, right? And get the salad too.
Well, any more than if you grocery shop on an empty stomach, and then they have all the tempting items up near the cash, right? Whether it's chocolate bars and chips or just those impulse buys.
I'm surprised more stores haven't done, like grocery stores haven't done this, but like, you know when you go through the checkout at Winners and you got to go through the gauntlet of other random stuff to check out? And you always end up like, that looks good.
Because they put them up on those little pegboards, right? And you're just staring at it and like, well, that might make a good Christmas present for someone.
Yeah, look at these mugs. Oh, look at these dog toys. Oh, look, there's toys for kids here now. Oh, look, there's like chips and snacks.
Wait a minute, do I need a fly swatter? I think I might need a fly swatter. I should probably buy two.
Yum. Science.
It's not rocket science.
Check it out. I blinded us with science.
Well, if you occasionally like to have maybe a few more than you should, soon you might be able to get drunk without the hangover. Yes, this is the stuff science is working on. A synthetic alcohol was in the news after the Wall Street Journal covered it. A company in the UK hopes to start selling it by 2026. And they say it also doesn't have the negative health effects of regular booze.
So you drink it, you get that, tipsy feeling, but then there's no after effects.
So they say.
That'd be interesting to see. Hey, a recent study found that 59% of all species on Earth actually live underground or in the ground. That includes about 90% of fungi, 85% of plants, and 50% of bacteria. Interestingly, though, only 3% of mammals live underground.
Researchers have found that hearing sounds from the left ear can provoke stronger emotional responses. So this study showed a link between positive sounds like laughter with positive emotions when heard from the left side. However, negative sounds like screams did not evoke a strong emotional response when heard from the left. So the participants listened to sounds from different directions, left, right, front. Scientists are unsure why our brains evolved this way. And the author of the study says more study is needed to determine if there's a link to a preference or even some sort of arrangement of internal organs affecting it too.
Like if you're right-handed, it's that way, or if you're left-handed, if it's reverse.
I'm deaf in my left ear. What about me?
I was just about to ask you that. I was like, have you found that then? Maybe you're not, what does it say? Because it's your left side.
My left ear is
that
deaf.
you're deaf.
Yeah.
So do you not hear positive sounds? You're not getting emotional? Do you find you're not as emotional, Dave?
Maybe I'm negative all the time. No, I think because it was so young, I had to just adapt, right? I was like 3 when this happened.
Interesting. And finally, Cornell has deployed some trash bots in downtown Brooklyn. They're trash bins on hoverboards with cameras on them. They're remote controlled and they move around to try to convince people to throw away their trash in them.
The first time one rolled up to me, I was on my phone playing a game and I just kind of turned and was like, where did this come from and why is there a camera on it?
We don't really come in with any assumptions. We are more interested in if we envision a future where every object that people interact with on a daily basis can be automated. How would people accept and adapt to such future?
And here's my negativity. Why do I feel like someone's going to snap that camera off and go, I'm taking that. Taking the trash can and the hoverboard.
But it's a live feed, so
they might get a good look at your face.
Exactly.
That's Last Week in Science. There's a new app out that's called Myria, Myria, and it's in the news after a New York Post reporter got access to it, but don't try looking for it in your app store because you need to have a lot of money in order to get it.
So it's a concierge app, and it's only for the super wealthy. Membership alone costs $30,000 a year. But once you're a member, you you log into the app, and you can request pretty much anything. You might be thinking, okay, well, I want front seats to go see Taylor Swift. No, this app will get you dinner with Taylor Swift.
Not just anyone can join. It's invite only, and you need a net worth of at least $30 million. Man, so I'm not that far off. Really, all I need is $30 million.
Well, so right now there's maybe about 100 members. Their average net worth is around $600 million. Guy by the name of Ray Flemings launched it. Now, he used to work in the music biz, and as a result, he built up this huge Rolodex of contacts. And he became known as the go-to guy for when celebrities and billionaires needed something. So, for example, he once got a client 2 seats at the Oscars, sitting in the 9th row next to Jeff Bezos, and it took him less than a day to get that worked out. Many of the people that are using this app right now, A-list celebrities, athletes, and CEOs, but they also have a community feature so they can log into the app and you can like literally hobnob with other billionaires and millionaires on the app.
The app has less than 100 members so far, but another 500 are on the wealthiest or on the wait list, I should say, and he's hoping to expand that and have around 1,000 active members by the end of next year. Wow. He doesn't think that he'll have a hard time finding that many members. He says the number of super rich is on track to double in the next 3 years. Well, I guess we all know that as we go to the grocery store and see how much money it costs now to walk out with a cart full of groceries, right? Mm-hmm. So you're able, these uber rich, to join this type of a community, which we will never be a part of.
No, never.
Like,
maybe if I win the lottery, like the 70 mil.
Fingers crossed for Lotto Max. We've got some great animal stories about fish, bears, and giraffes. This first one about a place in the Florida Keys, this marina where you can hand feed giant tarpons. Now, here's a little clip of a dad that's, coaching his young daughter on how to feed one, and then the reaction when their arm was engulfed by the fish.
Gotta get lower, lie on your stomach and get it closer to the water. It's coming. Oh my gosh, that's big. You okay?
I got my whole hair.
I think I got that on camera. Are you hurt?
No.
That is a money shot. Holy cow. Let me see, are you bleeding?
Yeah.
Where? Holy.
Oh, yeah, it engulfed her entire arm, and it's not quite as dangerous as it sounds. It's, quote, as the experts say, relatively safe because they don't really have sharp teeth. And that's what happened as it just kind of...
So she was scratched up a bit.
A little bit of, a few scratches here.
She's going to be fine. And meanwhile, a man out in California recently caught a bear breaking into his apartment, eating his food, and then taking a nap on his bed in a reverse Goldiocks story. His name is Brian. He was out boating with friends on Lake Tahoe when he got an alert from his Ring doorbell camera.
Oh, I thought you meant the bear's name was Brian.
No. Well, it could have been. So he logged in, looked at his camera, and shocked to see a giant black bear was in his apartment. So he called up his landlord and the property manager. They happened to be nearby, so they walked over to check it out, and they said, yeah, sure enough, there was a bear sleeping on his bed. So they started making some noise. The bear popped up and took off and ran out the way it came in. But then when they got into the apartment, they realized the bear had left behind a path of destruction. There was garbage everywhere. The bear had smashed his TV and shredded his bed linens before deciding to take a nap.
Well, he didn't want the top sheet, right? A lot of people don't like top sheets anymore.
All I could imagine is explaining that to your insurance company. So you're like, so what happened? Well, all my property was destroyed in my apartment when a bear broke in. Wait, I have video evidence though.
And the bear was in the bed and he was like, oh, this is just right. Hey, a baby giraffe with no spots was just born at a zoo in Tennessee, and it could be the only spotless giraffe in the world. Solid brown without the yellow patches other giraffes have. Experts say it's a good thing she's in captivity because their spots act as camouflage, so she'd have a pretty low chance of making it in the wild.
Day one, we've been in contact with zoo professionals all over the country. And, especially the old timers that have been around for a long time. Hey, have you seen this? What's your thoughts? And nobody's seen it. It's better she's born in captivity. In the wild, they use those spots for camouflage. By being solid colored, she may not be able to hide quite as well.
All I can think is, well, can you do a DNA test? Maybe the dad wasn't a giraffe. Maybe the dad was a horse or something. I don't know.
Stepping out on the other pen maybe somewhere. Well, they are taking suggestions on what to name the baby giraffe. Unfortunately, there's just 4 choices you can choose from, and Giraffe McGiraffeface is not one of them.
Oh, too bad.
It would have won. If you hate paper straws with a passion because, you get them and after a little while, it doesn't take long, they start getting soggy, well, maybe you'll like this. A new study found that they might not be that eco-friendly after all.
So researchers over in Europe tested paper straws from 39 different brands. And 90% of them had forever chemicals in them that are linked to health issues like cancer. So they tested 20 different types of paper straws. 18 of them had low levels of the forever chemicals. And these chemicals don't break down in nature. And it's not just paper straws that were a problem. They also tested plastic straws. They found 75% of them had forever chemicals as well, as did 80% of bamboo straws and 40% of glass straws.
So in other words, those forever chemicals are everywhere now. So even in things made of paper that aren't exactly good for the environment. So plastic straws are still bad for other reasons, though, and a much bigger threat to plants and animals in the long run.
Now, there is one type of straw that doesn't have forever chemicals if you are looking for one to use. That would be reusable stainless steel straws.
So this is the thing that boggles my mind, is that you get these paper straws at takeout places and whatnot inside of a plastic cup with a plastic lid.
Yep.
Is it any different than the grocery store? They took away plastic bags, but yet I can still put my meat in a plastic bag. And then everything else in the store is wrapped in plastic.
Everything you're buying is in plastic.
I mean, you get cereal, there's a plastic bag inside of the cereal.
Yep.
So it just seems like, I know we're trying to do something, and it's just, is it just empty? Is it just one of these, a little bit of theater?
Greenwashing.
Right? Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Is that the word now? Greenwashing? I was going to say environmental theater.
Yeah.
Might apply too. So yeah, paper straws, add that to the list. Also probably not the greatest. Probably go out and get a metal straw if you really want to be environmental. Well, we're just thinking about things that we hated when we were kids. You grow up a little bit and you go, oh, this isn't too bad, as I'm just about finished my little tub of coffee here. Did you ever have coffee when you were kids? Your parents ever let you have a sip? And you're like, oh, no.
I don't remember coffee, but I do remember, I think my dad had poured beer in a glass, and I think I thought it was ginger ale and took a sip. I spit it out across the table, like as a legit spit take, like you see in the movies.
Well, people on social media are talking about this. So things that, you hate when you're a kid, but you love when you're an adult. And one of the things somebody said was water. They said, as a kid, I hated drinking water. And as an adult, I can't get enough.
Oh, my nephews, they love those little, like the Kool-Aid squirters to like add flavor into their water. They can't just drink just plain water.
I don't remember drinking water much as a kid.
Kool-Aid? A lot of Kool-Aid.
Yes, absolutely Kool-Aid. I like it because I can control the sugar. No, you can't. Put it in a full cup.
If you did have water, it was straight from the hose in the yard and you were just too lazy to go back in the house.
Milk. I remember milk when I was a kid and putting Quick in the milk. Remember Quick?
Yes.
And it was in that cardboard container with the weird
you had to use a spoon to pop it open.
Yeah, the metal little button top there, right?
Those are awesome.
Strawberry and chocolate, I remember, were the go-to. So, but just to grab a glass and drink water?
But then you had to stir it for like 7 minutes to get it to dissolve. Another thing that we hated as a kid but love now that we're adults, being at home with nothing to do.
There was a comedian we had just the other day talking about that. You ask somebody after the weekend, so what'd you do this weekend? And they think about it for a second. I did nothing.
And it was fantastic.
It's everything I thought it could be. I fully 100% agree with this. Getting socks as a gift, or even practical items that somebody might buy you, like maybe a new vacuum cleaner. Our daughter, a few years ago, so excited, we got her a Dyson Mini for Christmas. And they have a very hairy dog, so she was really excited about that.
Yeah, a few Christmases ago, I got a vacuum cleaner, like one of those stick vacs for vacuuming up dog fur. And then this year for my birthday, a few months ago, I got an air fryer. I asked for both of those things, and I love it because it's something else that I don't have to go and buy now on my own.
I bought a garbage can last year, I think it was by this point. And I remember being in the store and looking at it, right? And you step on the thing, and because ours had kind of broken down. I was like, oh man, I can't wait to get this home and try this out. As a kid, you'd be like, a garbage can? What are you talking about?
Or you get socks and you'd be like, oh, now you're like, yes, socks. Now I don't have to go buy any.
Taking baths. I mean, some people love them. I'm not a bath fan, but then again, I have a hot tub. So how is that really that much different?
As I say, my bathtub's kind of short. So it's like I can either get my upper body or my lower body in it. That's all.
Eating leftovers and vegetables. One person even said, I'm warming up to mushrooms. No, I'll never warm up to mushrooms. Although eating leftovers, I never really complained about that as a kid. Although I grew up in a big family, leftovers, there really wasn't any leftovers.
I know, before you're like, oh, leftovers. Now you're like, yes, leftovers.
Don't have to
because I don't have to make anything. Another thing that we hated when we were kids but love as an adult, going to sleep early and taking naps. Oh, yeah. Trying to tell my nephews they should take a nap. You think I told them that, the world was ending.
A nap? Now you're like, yeah, give me a nap. Grocery shopping. One person said, I can get whatever I want. Well, yeah, when you're a kid, right? No, put that back. Put that back. Mm-hmm. And now literally there's no rules about that as an adult. You can do anything.
Or just wandering aimlessly through the store and checking out new products and deciding what to get. Family dinners. So one person said, we rarely get to eat as a family now that I'm an adult. So when we do get to sit down together, it's always super nice.
Did you have like, not assigned seating, but where you would sit at the table when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, same.
Definitely.
Yeah, there was like just an order of things around the table. Mm-hmm. People thinking you're younger than you actually are, or maybe even carding you. Yes, very true.
Did I tell you when we went to Detroit to go see the Tigers take on the Blue Jays right before the All-Star break? I got asked for my ID when I tried to buy beer.
Nice.
And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And then she looked at my ID and started laughing because like, I just turned 39 like a few weeks ago.
Oh, I was in my 20s and I once got ID'd at an R-rated movie.
At a movie?
A movie. I've always looked really young though. I mean, just good genes, I guess, or just luck. I was joking, I exfoliate. I don't even know what that means. And somebody else said yard work. Things they hated as a kid but loved and now as an adult.
No, I'm still not a fan of yard work.
No. They can come over and do my yard work if they want. Our lawn was big when I was a kid. I grew up in the country, so there was like... And because it was in the country, it wasn't like it was rolled and flat. So like the mower's going sideways.
I will admit, though, when I lived at home with my parents, I didn't mind cutting the lawn because... I put my earbuds in, I put my headphones on, I go out on the riding mower, and just spend the whole afternoon cutting the lawn. I didn't seem to mind doing that. But as I've gotten older, now I'm a little pickier.
But going back to that one about getting practical gifts, yes, socks and underwear. New underwear, new socks that you don't, that's just great. You're a kid, you're like, I want a toy. You get older, you're like, socks, score. There are some things to look forward to in the month of September. Obviously, we've got Labor Day right around the corner, but in sports, there's a lot of stuff.
NFL season kicks off next Thursday when the Detroit Lions head to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Also, of course, there's lots of college football. I mean, the season, I guess, technically started last week, but a lot of teams will be getting their season going this week. And then, of course, the U.S. Open continues. That runs until September 10th.
And then you've got NHL training camps will be opening up. They'll start their preseason, NBA as well.
Chatham Maroons will start their season, although... Not a Memorial Arena.
Not a Memorial.
If you read that story at CK News Today yesterday, they're going to have to start the season, I guess, maybe at Thames campus because
at the college.
The ice isn't going to be in time.
They forgot to order the ice. They were like, oh man, we got to order I guess equipment issues or something along those lines. In theaters, The Equalizer 3 is out today. My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3 comes out September 8th. The Expendables 4 hits theaters on the 22nd. The horror movie Saw X will be released on September 29th. So that's number 10, right?
I was going to say, is that supposed to be 10?
That's wild to me that they've made that many Saw movies. And also the adaptation of The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar will hit Netflix on the 27th.
Now, the first day of fall officially arrives September 23rd. And if you want to get it specific, the autumn equinox will actually occur at 2:50 a.m. Eastern that day.
And you'll see some TV shows coming back, including The Masked Singer, The Voice, Survivor, Amazing Race.
A lot of reality TV shows this year because of the strike.
The strike continuing, so unless you've got a few shows that maybe you want to put out right away, you're probably going to hold on to those, right?
Now, you will see some new TV shows, but these are ones that were obviously filmed, or they at least got enough episodes filmed before the strike started.
Yeah, the latest Walking Dead spinoff, The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, will come out on AMC September 10th.
And finally, the holidays. Of course, this Monday is Labor Day. But September 7th is Beer Lovers Day. Stand Up to Cancer Day is September 8th. Talk Like a Pirate Day is the 19th. And September 29th is National Coffee Day.
Did you sort of talk like a pirate there? I thought you were going to for a second.
I did I was supposed to say, "Our matey, talk like a pirate day, our matey" on the 19th.
Isn't every day coffee day? I would say that's 7 days a week.
You've been listening to Dave and Cheryl's favorite moments of the week.